Search and destroy. Protect the objective.
What is up guys, Brian here, and today I've got easily my best Call of Duty Search and Destroy gameplay. It is highly unlikely that I'll ever get one of these scores again. Now I'm going 30-3 on Hijacked. I'm playing Black Ops 2 of course, but I'm using the M8A1 with Reflex, Stock and FMJ. I've got the perks of Flak Jacket, Toughness and Awareness, and I'm using a B23 as a secondary and a Concussion Grenade as my tactical. Now, I haven't really seen many 30 kill search and destroy games posted on YouTube, especially unassisted. I completely had no assistance from riot shielders or anyone in this game. I was in a party with two of my mates, Lagsy and Sweatsy. We'd just come from league play, and they were sniping. They thought they'd have a bit of fun, and then there was me sweating with my Awareness M8. But I have seen one other 30 kill game. It was by my mate, Hurricane Esco. If you guys want to check that out, he ended up going 30-1 on Encore. I'll leave the link to that video in the description below. But this game's really slow, and it's a 6-minute video. It was 13 minutes, and I cut it down to just over 6 minutes, I believe. So it's really slow. I had to change the pace of the game completely. I believe most of my team were trick-shotting. There was one guy who was using a Remington, and there was this Haggard Crispy or something who was using an LMG, and he almost cost me my 30-kill game. But in these next two rounds, I get put in clutch situations back to back. And you might have noticed that at the start of the round, or at the start of the very first round, I killed a few enemies camping spawn. Now I think once they realised that my whole team were trick-shotting, they pulled out their SMGs. And there was one guy in particular, Zoid Frisky, who aced the first round, and that was one of my first deaths. He ended up acing the first round, and he was trying to just wipe out our team while they were spinning off the top of the building. But in this very first three rounds, I get put in clutch situations. I failed the first one, but I get a nice 1v4 in this round. And the very next round, I get quite fortunate and get a nice 1v3. Now, each of my deaths are debatable. Not really the first one, that was just completely outplayed. I got really bad COD timing. But the second death, once again, I got completely outplayed again. He outstrafed me with his 5.7. He honestly looked like he had Parkinson's in the kill cam. You'll see it later on in the video. His trigger finger was so slow, it was disgusting. I felt like a really bad player. And the third death was just really unlucky. I thought he was trolling in the back of his spawn, but he pulled out an M8 and jump shot him here around a corner. So what can you do? All of these deaths, I like to think, happened for a reason. And right here, I didn't realise I was playing on the default button layout. I was knife onlying a game before, and I realised I was on default, and luckily that guy didn't see me. And I got quite fortunate with this 1v3, so I get quite a few fortunate kills. I like to share the kills with my B23 and my M8. I use the B23 when I go inside or when I get into close quarters combat. And I use the M8 for examples like this. I like to head glitch this little table here on this left flank and pick off anyone who's trying to snipe me from down the other side. And then I'll push through to the middle of the map and I'll pick off anyone in the sniper building. So we're trying to snipe and get a few picks earlier in the round. Or if I don't do that, I'll pick off anyone who's trying to rush through the middle of the map, and therefore I can push through. But what I really didn't realise in this game was the enemies were pushing the right side under that canopy thing. I don't know what you call it, but they were pushing that really hard. Therefore they were getting flanks easily to our spawn and taking out my team. So what I had to do in the later rounds was I had to push through the middle of the map and get mid control. I'd therefore sit on this flank here. I could watch that flank straight ahead. I could watch anyone who goes through the middle of the map, and it would be easy to pick them off and go chase them down. Now this round here I do get my second death. He completely outstrafed me with his 5.7. His trigger finger was honestly god awful. I was so surprised that he killed me so quick. I was really getting overconfident in this game, and this sort of put me in my place. And we end up going 3-2 down later in the game. And out of a possible 12 kills in the last two rounds, I get 11 of them. So fortunately these guys rushed the middle of the map. And this round here I was just like, alright, I've got to move through this map. I've got to pick off any kills and pick up anyone who's trying to push through. And I ended up doing that. I think I ended up cutting them off the routes. But like I said, I was in a party with Lagsy and Sweatsy. And when it came into the last round, Lagsy was like, alright man, you're going 24-3, you can get an ace here and you'll get the 30 kill game. Now like I said earlier, I was competing for kills with this Haggard guy. And he was honestly pissing me off. I was getting really upset. He was rushing spawn. I really wanted this 30 bomb. But I get a few fortunate kills here. I end up dying in this round again to It should have been really a preventable death, but like I said, I like to think these deaths all happen for a reason. Without this, I wouldn't have gotten a 30 kill game. But I was really pissed off. I think I was 19-2 at this stage, and then he just like two bursted me, and I was almost around the corner, but unlucky. But the last 2 rounds here, I end up picking up 11 kills. Fortunately, they go middle once again, so I pick up 2 quick kills. And my streaks earlier had done nothing. I'd gotten a set of streaks, they'd gotten no kills, all they'd gotten is a hit marker. And when I needed my streaks to go big in the final 2 rounds, I ended up going huge. I picked up a double with my Hunter Killer and a single Hellstorm on an AFK guy. And when I call in my Hellstorm, I like to always look at where the other enemies are around the map. So I noticed one was in our spawn, one was in their spawn building, and one was AFK. So I picked up the AFK guy and realized I had to push this guy who was in our spawn, and then I could work for the guy who was camping in their spawn. Now, constantly throughout the game, the enemies were using shock charges, and they ended up camping their spawn or placing them strategically around their spawn, so they'd know if anyone ended up pushing through. And constantly I had to flank and avoid these shock charges. And you'll notice in the second round on this left flank, I was unsure at the time if it was one of our teammates' shock charges or it was one of the enemies. So I ended up having to stay in this little corner here, call in my streaks and hope no one pushed me from the left side, underneath or behind me. And I got fortunate here, I picked up this shotgunner underneath, and basically my whole playstyle on Hijacked has changed recently. I've ended up using an M8 with awareness. Awareness is really good if you want to hear people underneath, and using an M8 at long range and a B23 in close range is basically so beneficial. You're basically a complete package. But the gameplay is wrapping up here. I pick off this guy trying to kill my teammate who's spinning off a fucking building, and I was so like hesitant to challenge him, but I realized, you know what, I might as well. I ended up getting the 30 bomb. I went so off. I unmuted everyone, and I was just like going off. I'll never get one of these again. I remember one of the kids, he was like a 12-year-old. He was like, it's only 30 kills. He doesn't know how important it is. But I hope you guys enjoyed. It was quite a long video, but it's honestly the only 30 kill game I'll probably ever get. So if you guys enjoyed, let me know, leave a comment in the section below. Hopefully the gameplay was entertaining enough, and hopefully my voice didn't get too annoying. I'll speak to you next time. Share this video with your mates if you want, and go check out Hurricane Esco's video, his 30 bomb, in the description below. So I'll speak to you next time, guys. Bye bye.
Trinity rocket available. Bomb's been planted. Excellent job, Ghosts. Get ready for the next round.